Yeah, make me wonder. Change is happening everywhere. You're listening to Clay Nelson Life Balance Hour on KZSB AM 1290. Hey, one of the quotes I want to read to you, I just noticed, it's by Alvin Toffler, Toffler, and he goes, "Change is not merely necessary to life; it is life." Now, what do you think of that one?
Like, that's a big
I mean, yeah, but see, nobody thinks about life as being changed. I mean, yesterday is different than the day before. Today is different than yesterday. Why? Because it's, our experience of it. It's like what we learned yesterday we applied to today, which changes how our views and what we hear and how we feel about what's happening today, I mean, change is a dance. Without it, boy, wouldn't life be boring? We all look the same. We all be doing the same thing forever. God, that would be boring, wouldn't it?
Well, this is certainly not a boring show today.
No,
because,
no.
We have. You have
I'm
email?
sorry.
We have an
Well,
email.
we
Goodness
have an
gracious.
email.
And it's
before-
Susan talking. Yeah.
Well,
so go
before
ahead.
you get into the notes, and I know you have a caller on the line, it says, this is from Tom. Says,
Yeah.
my business partner is officially retiring at the end of the year, but truth be told, I think he has already mentally retired,
Yeah.
which is creating difficulties with regard to having our systems and team ready for his being gone.
Yeah.
What is the best way to get and keep him on track for the next several months without my having to become a full-time babysitter?
Well, I got to tell you, retirement is different for everybody. When people resist saying I'm going to retire for sometimes years. Sometimes they can never say it. And then once they say it, it's like such a big relief. They turn into this big pile of skin that just sits there in the chair because they're totally gone,
They're done.
Yeah, they're done. Exactly.
Okay.
All right. And then they come back and go, well, wait a minute, I have to be responsible for what I built here. So it's all a timing thing, What you got to do is say, hey, I appreciate what you've done. I appreciate who you are. I'm not sure I can understand where you are because I'm not your age, finally, actually surrendering to the fact that I'm going to retire. So it's all about getting to a place where you have full and complete communication with accountability, okay? Full and complete communication with accountability. And once the person that says I'm going to retire comes out of drifting off into brain dead land and comes back into the land of being responsible for what they built, everything will work out just fine.
Well,
Okay?
sure, that's good advice for Tom. Thanks.
Yeah, so Tom, get that. So Tom, have all the fun you can for a little while, then get back to work. Hurry up here. All right?
Tom's going to have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I'm impressed.
No, but
yeah.
it's true. Retirement's a tough one. It really is. I was going to talk about that for a minute, So what do we got? We got another phone call?
We have Misty on the line.
Wow.
Hi, Misty. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Clay.
Hi, Misty.
Hi. Just had to call and tell you that I'm not somebody who has played around on YouTube a lot or is really necessarily real comfortable with the computer, but I had to go see what you and Susan look like on YouTube.
Yeah.
And it was just really cool. So I just want to tell you how much I enjoyed it.
Well, thank you.
That's cool.
All right,
Thanks.
good. And by the way, Misty, who do you think's the cutest? You know what I mean?
Oh, I don't know. I think I might have to stick with girl power.
Oh, jeez.
All right. Go, Misty.
Well, thanks. Hey, by the way, truthfully, was it hard to go to? I'm not a real big, computer YouTuber, whatever, MySpace person, or anything else. But since we put that all up there, gosh, we've had all kinds of people get in our friends group and get on our, what do you call that? Where you're notified, get our subscriber groups and all kinds of things. And that subscriber group tells you when the next video goes up, and it sends out an email to you, says go take a look, and so you don't have to keep looking in YouTube and all kinds of things. So, but was it really easy to do?
It was easy to find your channel. I'll have to go and find the subscribe thing. But from what my experience so far is that it's been pretty easy. I mean, I just went to youtube.com and typed in Clay Nelson Life Balance, and your channel came up.
Oh, cool.
So,
Great. Well, thank you for doing that. All right. Did you have a question, or did you just want to say how incredibly cute we are?
I just say how incredibly cool I think Susan is.
Oh, thanks, Misty.
And you're great too, Clay. Just giving you a hard time.
I'll remember you.
And by the way, what's your name, Clay? I didn't. Yeah. Okay. All right. Thanks.
Thanks.
Anything else?
Nope, that was it.
All
Thanks.
right. Thanks for calling, Misty.
And now we continue with the Susan Nelson Life
Yeah.
Balance Hour.
Okay, Susan, you're on.
No,
kiddo.
no. It's all up to
Oh,
you.
God.
that was fun.
Did you get her phone number or anything? I have to call her back.
Thank you.
Who is Misty? Yes. All right, now, so look, there are some steps in preparing for yourself in managing change. And the first thing is, number one, is acknowledge that change happens, okay? I mean, this show has just been a blast. I didn't know quite how to talk about change on the show because it's a difficult conversation to have. But, I had to give up the difficulty and just have fun with it. And all of a sudden, the phone's ringing and Susan's getting...
I'm getting acknowledged.
So, yeah, I'm pretty sure
we're just testing how well you do with change.
There's gonna be a Susan star on the street in front of my house. Yeah. And so now, the first step in preparing and managing change is acknowledging that change happens. And respectfully, without change, what would you have? You'd have no place to teach what you know. You'd have no place to learn what you've learned. You'd have no place to go. There'd be no future to step into. There'd be no, nothing to say, well, gosh, I'm not going to do that again. Or that didn't feel good, get that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So do you have a quote you want to lead? Or
yes,
what?
I do.
Okay, go ahead.
Actually, it's from Jan Glidewell. Mm-hmm. You can clutch the past so tightly to your chest that it leaves your arms too full to embrace the present.
Yes. Yeah,
that's cool?
It's like, it's kind of like, who would you have to be to give up controlling it all, right? To grasp your chest so hard that change can't happen. Yeah. It's like to let change happen. Mm-hmm. Each week I prepare for change, and over the next several weeks, you're thinking about, you write things down, you think about the comments you made, you think about what's been said, you think about how you'd like to make it different or how you'd like to show up different. But the truth is, you're going to do what you do, and you're going to take what you get. And people that have to dance on their feet have to be with life on their feet, dancing with change. It's all the same. It's just a dance. It's just something you commit to do. And sometimes you like it, sometimes you don't, sometimes you resist it. But change always causes you to think. You can either think yourself to stop, or you can think yourself into growth. All right? So change is pretty cool. Without change, we'd be sitting around doing just about anything. All right? Now, step number one is acknowledging change. Step number two is having a plan for it. I mean, think about this. What if, someone called you and said, I don't think we're going to keep you on, or I don't think we're going to keep your job doing the same thing. So I don't think that maybe we're going to keep you at all. So where do we go with that? How do we change? Well, you could be depressed. You could say, you owe me. You could say, oh, gosh, just eat worms, roll over, and die. Or you can write the plan for stepping out of what you've been used to and stepping into what you haven't done yet. It's called being unstoppable, okay?
So Clay, are you talking about kind of having a general plan in place no matter what may come along?
Yeah, it's called backup.
Very nice.
It's called backup. What if you had to pay rent and you had to do all kinds of things? Say you needed $2,500 a month every month, all right? And you had everything going so that you got your $2,500 a month every month, including your tax reserves and a little bit of reserve for what you haven't thought of in case you were sick or whatever. And what happens if you lost the source of that money? What would you have to do? You'd have to be unstoppable. Go find another way to make that money, all right? And when you go find another way to make that money, you meet new people, you step out and do new things, you learn, you grow, you find out that you are unstoppable, you find out that life is pretty cool. All right, it is scary. There's no question. There's a lot of fear attached to change. And when I come back after this break, I'm going to talk about having just enough fear in your life around change that it just barely makes the hair stand up in your arms, but it doesn't stop you. So get on back here. I'm going to talk to you about how you can have fun with change. You're listening to Clay Nelson Life Balance Hour on KZSB AM 1290.